Hey, I noticed how people around me have started using Telegram more and more often. This is not a surprise to me because, in addition to chatting with the people you love, you can quickly get relevant information in text or media format, use bots, and much more. Today I'd like to focus your attention on the 7 most important tips for Telegram. They will allow you to make the most out of the messenger. I'm sure you've never heard about some of them, so let's get started. So what's the first thing we see when we open Telegram, let's say in the morning or after a long period of not using the messenger? The correct answer is, we see a bunch of new messages from people and bots, channels and groups. All of them, of course, are displayed in chronological order in the chat list, but it's easy to get confused with them. To make things easier and improve the process of interaction with the chats, the messenger offers to create folders, and I highly recommend you do it. To create folders, you just have to go to settings. There are folders to any taste, and here are a couple of ideas for you. Create separate folders for people, channels, and groups. Telegram will sort the chats, and then when you open the messenger, you won't get confused with all the chats. For example, you will first read and respond to all the personal messages, then read the information from your favorite channels, and then finally check out the messages in the groups. If you have work chats, you can also create a separate folders for them so as not to miss any important messages. In general, folders are a vital part of using Telegram the right way, so make sure you create and set them up. Another basic element in using Pavel Durov's creation is the cache. In other words, it's the data that's been downloaded by Telegram, like the videos, pictures, and texts you've seen. Obviously, they don't just go anywhere, but they are saved in the cache. Later, people start complaining in the comments below the video that Telegram takes up a lot of space. Well, first, you should regularly clear the cache. Go to Settings, then select Data and Memory, then click Memory Usage. Here you can see how much space Telegram's cache is taking up and clear it right away. Don't worry, if you downloaded something in the messenger, the data will still remain in the cloud, and the files can be downloaded again if necessary. Secondly, set the following parameters here. Allow Telegram to store files only for 3 days, and most importantly, set the maximum size of the cache 5 GB. I should point out that in the first case, Telegram will delete only those files which it's downloaded but you have not viewed. The rest will remain in the cache, so do not forget to clear it from time to time. Our next tip is notifications. Getting notifications can seem like a living hell, especially when you are subscribed to various channels and groups. However, any person has the options to mute such notifications and stop getting them on their screen. This would be useful to do with some non-urgent channels or groups, and perhaps you would want to mute some people. On iOS, swipe the chat to the left and select mute. On Android, long press the chat and then select the mute icon that appears at the top. You will now see a crossed out speaker sign next to the name of the channel or the person's name, which means the notifications are muted. Leave only those people and channel that are the most important to you. I believe this is the best way to use this one. By the way, share in the comments if you knew about this one, and if yes, let me know how many chats you have on mute. Next, let's talk about reactions. It would seem like nothing special, but I'm willing to argue. Reactions are incredibly important in several ways. First, sometimes it's just enough to make a reaction in chat with a person and not respond to anything. For example, you can do it to let the other person know that you've seen and read their message without texting them back. The second option is to use channel reactions. This is how you express your attitude to publications and give others the opportunity to create better content because they constantly check your feedback. Next, you're gonna find out even more tips I've prepared for you. There's probably one of the most important ones waiting for you at the end, so stay tuned. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel if you're new here and give this video a thumbs up. It's the best incentive to keep making new content for you. And archived chats is my next tip for you. With the same swipe to the left on iOS, and by long pressing the chat and selecting the icon from above on Android, you can send some irrelevant chats to the archive. This would be useful if you no longer need a certain chat, but you may need the information later and you don't want to delete it, but it's annoying having it in the general chat list. The same goes with the channels. Perhaps you have a resource that you check out once every few weeks, but you don't need it the rest of the time. You can also archive this channel. So there are many options, the main thing is to use them. It would also be helpful to pin some chats in Telegram at the top. If you have a person or channel that you want to always be at the top of the list, make sure to pin them. On iOS, you need to swipe right on the chat and then click Pin. On Android, long press the chat, then click on the 3 vertical dots at the top right corner of the screen and select Pin. Telegram allows you to pin up to 5 chats, plus up to 5 secret chats. But there is one interesting thing here. The Messenger lets you pin up to 100 chats, but in folders. So if 5 chats are not enough for you, you just have to create a folder first, and there you're free to pin as many chats as you like. As for the last recommendation, I was talking about Telegram security. It's all about the fact that the Messenger has a separate privacy and security menu, which is responsible for protecting your device and your account. There are features like a passcode and 2-step verification. I highly recommend turning them on. I talked more about Telegram security in a recent video on my channel. It's coming up right now on the screen, so check it out. And that's all I have. It's the Teleblog channel. Subscribe and keep up to date.